Okay, now it's rolling. Fuck. So we went and saw The Batman.
Batman!
All right.
You're not taking that thing off.
Ah, come on.
Okay, you know what? This will be great content. Go ahead and take it off. Let's see if I can fit it on my fat head.
I know.
I won't break it. I promise I won't break it.
All right. Well, let's just keep rolling anyway.
All right. Let's
Here,
try
hang on. Am I still in frame? Okay.
This will be great content. Let me try the head.
Then I gotta take this off.
Just pinch it on your boob.
Well, why don't we just do the review? It's gonna be like an hour.
Oh.
You can try it on at the end.
Oh. Oh.
Yes. All right. So we finally saw The Batman. What do you think?
I could be hit by a bus tomorrow and die a happy man. It was everything I've ever wanted from a Batman movie.
Yeah. Wow. Touching me there. All right, so the Batman. We were both really excited. We both did a video beforehand that we talked about. I think what we wanted or what we thought was going to be in it.
Just keep sliding it on my face.
So it's perfect for the skits. So good. Alfred. Alfred. I want him to show up at a party. He has the suit on, and he comes down with the cowl on, and then, you know, Alfred just runs up, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne. And he's just like, you know, you still have the cowl on. And then actually try to rip it off and, you know, and then it's, thanks, Alfred. Be a man and get me a vodka.
It's like covering your mouth now. But now you got like the cool Batman white eyes thing going.
Fighting crime. All right, so the Batman. Well, we both love this movie.
You're just two eyes and a mouth. The nose is down to your bottom lip.
That's how it falls. I'm not getting it anywhere.
Your head looks so tiny. It's so great.
All right, so the Batman. Let's just start with the main event. So Robert Pattinson proved everybody wrong, I think.
Best Batman.
So would you say he's the best on-screen Batman?
Yes.
I would actually say yes as well. And I wasn't completely sure that was going to happen. Because Christian Bale... Alright, I gotta take this.
I want to see if it fits to my head, because I got a huge head. Come on, Alex, I'm fat. I'm never going to get to be Batman. You have a shot at playing Batman one day. I don't. I'm chubby.
Dude, I'm telling you, you just saw me rip all my hair out.
Oh, think how great it's going to be with me trying it.
God. Alright, let's make sure you're in frame.
I was going to say, this is great content here.
So here, move over. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I take all the screen, man. Move over. So you just made it work. Alright, so you remember, where the fuck did the thing go? God damn. Right.
Do I remember what?
It's like the whole Batman, we just keep trading it off.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think...
What do you think?
So
Tell me. Do you think
This actually fits a little bit better, the top part does. Because your head is so fucking huge.
Justice!
We actually have a lot of good things to say. All right, so
It was a very good movie.
let me move this towards my boob. All right. So, so let's do the experience. We're sitting there watching it, and I think I even turned to you and I said, "Welcome back, Gotham City." Right? Didn't I basically say that?
Yeah.
Because this is Gotham.
Gotham's back.
You have like Tim Burton's sort of fictionalized, almost artifice with his gothic fairy tale look of Gotham, and then Christopher Nolan had that a little bit. He had Gotham City with Batman Begins, right? He was great.
Everything was like on stilts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was great. And then what they did was they just doubled down on what he wanted Batman to be, and it's just basically Chicago. So Gotham wasn't a character anymore in the next two.
Well, there are even parts where they literally just filmed streets in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for Dark Knight Rises. Yeah. So bottom line, this is Gotham City back, where it's like two New York cities on top of each other. It's the mega city. It's covered in dankness, and it's raining the entire time. It's night.
Filth.
It's like, oh yeah, there's crap in the streets.
Grime and crime.
And actually, I didn't figure this out. I've seen the movie 3 times. You've seen the movie twice.
Twice.
So it wasn't until because remember we first saw it and at the beginning we're like, what was the gourd guy? Like, what was that at the beginning? Where he's like got like a gourd, and then later on we're like, oh, he's a drop head.
Yeah.
The drops that are which is something like right out of Looper. You watch Looper where they're getting high with the drugs in the eyes? So they have drops that they wear, or that they drop heads. So he was making fun of them. And also, fun fact, that my friend Brad, if he was here right now instead of Batman, that's what he says.
I hear that guy's a fat idiot.
That,
Very distinguished, though.
just between you and I, yeah. He's a little stinky.
He's a better actor than you.
On Tuesdays. All right, so
It's always Tuesday in Gotham.
So the store that's robbed at the beginning is called Good Times. And that is a reference to the film that Matt Reeves actually watched, Good Time. And he was like, oh, Robert Pattinson would be perfect as Batman. That's allegedly what the legend is, I guess, is that he saw that and he's like, that guy looks like the lead singer of Nirvana. I want him to play Batman. And then he did. And he's also wearing a red coat, so I thought that was kind of a cool Easter egg. So we established, Gotham City is a character again. He's the best on-screen Batman.
Well,
Hey, so riddle me this. What does DC in DC Comics actually stand for?
Dick Cock.
Try again.
Dirty crime. Detective Comics.
Yes! Guess what Batman does? He does detectiving. Like, how long did it take for them to finally be like, hey, Batman's gonna do some detectiving?
80 years. It's been a long time.
He's gonna do some detective work. And also, let's talk about, so yeah, that aspect of it, I don't know. Do you have, I don't know if this mask was a good idea.
This mask is a great idea. Look at all these people watching us. All like 14 of them. Hell yeah. Good seeing you.
Yeah, hey guys.
Good seeing
We
you.
figure we might as well have fun. Nobody's watching us anyway. It's okay. Hey, yeah, welcome to the Garke house, by the way.
Welcome to Batman
This
Reviews.
is Garke Bark. All right, now give that back.
So give that back to you?
Yeah, let's trade it up like every 10 minutes or something. Oh my god. Actually, I don't know. Can you get it off? Yeah. Can you get it off?
Ah! Justice!
Dude, doesn't it suck? Doesn't it suck?
Justice!
That is quite exhilarating. So much fun.
That's awesome.
It's a great idea.
That was a wonderful idea.
I keep going back and forth. I think once we stretch the leg. Oh, God, that went on real easy. Thanks a lot, Melonhead.
No problem.
If his head wasn't so bulbous.
He's so full of justice.
Right. So we've established.
Hey, Batman. Were you guys... I was just in the other room. Were you guys...
Robin.
Were you guys talking about me?
There. The Joker is up to no good.
Oh, he's
We better call Sergeant Gordon.
It's Commissioner Gordon,
Redfall.
idiot.
He's not Gordon yet. I mean, he's not a commissioner yet.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant.
All right, so let's talk about Commissioner Gordon.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Get your hands up, you son of a bitch. Christ. Falcone is a rat?
No.
My God.
Yes? No, he was great.
He's great. And actually, it was really interesting and cool to see Gordon and Batman together doing detective work.
Buddy cop stuff. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, like in so many of the comics, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that's what's interesting when you look back at even like, so the Tim Burton films, any of the movies really, they're not, like in the Tim Burton ones, it's just kind of like, oh, hey, Batman, hey. He's just kind of, he's not even there. He's not really even a character.
Yeah.
And then he became more of a character. He had a family and everything and stuff in the Dark Knight trilogy. And then in this one, I didn't notice it at all until after the movie. I'm like, hey, we don't know anything about, like, we don't know, Barbara Gordon wasn't brought in. His wife wasn't, is his wife Barbara or is that the girl? That's the girl.
It's his daughter's
That
Barbara.
becomes Batgirl.
Yeah.
None of that was brought up. And you didn't need to.
No.
He's just being a cop doing the,
Yeah,
it was character through action rather than telling us.
And another thing with Gordon, you don't need him to be this well fleshed out, like, absurdly complex character. Just, he's this sidekick. He's like, it worked. It really worked. And he was there. He had some of the funniest lines.
He actually had the best. Well, not the best lines, but he had some very funny lines. Yeah, like when they went. Actually, it was Wayne Manor that became.
Yeah. No guns. Nah, man, that's your thing.
That's your thing. Yeah. And then the idea that, again, back to Batman. I think it might be the best looking cowl. Also.
It was very comic book looking.
It was almost like a nod to Adam West, oddly enough.
You know what it was really a nod to? It looked a lot like the Kevin Conroy animated Batman cowl. Where it was like...
Oh, yeah,
all,
like way back.
Like way back, and it was
Yeah.
like your whole bottom jaw out.
But then the nose piece kind of was... the nose is right here, it's not up here. Was kind of a nod to... Again, the Adam West thing, too. I think you're right. It was like they took all the parts...
This movie was a love letter to Batman. Like, it really was.
And they fit it to his head. Whereas you look at Ben Affleck's Batman, his costume is just... it's a square. He's wearing a square. And I know they were trying to go for the Dark Knight Returns look. He's a bulkier, shorter... I don't know if shorter, but he looked shorter because of his costume. And again, I think Ben Affleck was a good Batman. It's just like the Spider-Man, the Garfield Spider-Man issue. He was just in bad movies.
Yes.
With the exception of Zack Snyder's Justice League. That was actually a good movie. I really enjoyed that movie. But he's not really being Batman. He's being part of the Justice League.
Right.
Which brings up the point that I think Batman is better off alone.
Batman is always better in his own movie.
Yeah, he doesn't fit in with Aquaman and The Flash. I don't think it really works. I was never a real big fan of Justice League stuff. And, and I just think it's just so... Gotham City is its own contained place. And again, I said this is the anti-Christopher Nolan movie in the best way possible.
Yes.
Because in Christopher Nolan's movie, and even in Tim Burton's movie, you get invested in Bruce Wayne. So they're like, hey, we're going to, instead of just clocking time for how long he's in the costume, we're going to get invested in Bruce Wayne, and then we'll be able to emotionally connect to him more and stuff like that. And it works. It's great. But this was like, no, they're like the same thing in this one. This is the full, like you were saying, he's the full commitment to the Batman. He's doing Batman. He is
Bruce Wayne is the alter ego in this.
Yeah. I mean, and there's always been the three characters too. And Robert Pattinson even understands this in like interviews and stuff. You know, you got the Playboy, which is the phony. You got the real Bruce Wayne that like, you know, does scenes with Alfred and stuff. And then you got Batman, which is kind of like his true self in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just, it's called The Batman. And there is more Batman in this than any other Batman movie, I think. It's not like a half hour of scenes. It's the entire movie.
Yeah, it's basically the whole time he's in the cowl.
Yeah, and I didn't have a problem with that this is a Bruce Wayne that's like, no, I'm going to go off and, you know, because he's all about the vengeance part of it. And it's not till the end he's like, I should become something else. So the second Batman movie would be... What's that?
Oh, it's the dehumidifier. It's a bomb, Batman!
Oh. Wait, Robin! There's a bomb. Joker's got a bomb! But anyway...
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
But anyway, where was I at?
Him being Bruce Wayne.
So hopefully in the second movie, what I would like to see is now, you know, now this is like Bruce Wayne's movie. I still want Batman to be in it as much as he was, but I also want I want Bruce Wayne to, he's like, okay, I can't be a recluse anymore. In this one, he's like, I don't care about my company. It's almost like they're going bankrupt or something. Because doesn't Alfred comes in, he's like, hey, the investors or the banker people are
That's
here.
just like a normal thing with rich people. Just the
okay, so
accountants.
I guess it wasn't really implied that he's like, I don't care about any of that. And he's like, but he does say you're going to have nothing left. So I wonder if there is some kind of like brief hint. It's not really, it's not like flat out said, but it's almost like, man, if you don't take charge of your company, but he's like, I don't care about any of that. I'm just going to be Batman.
See, what I would really like to see is not quite that. Like, I don't want to see him develop Bruce Wayne. I want to see him try and double down on the Batman stuff, but come to realize that you got to have some sort of a public presence and see him figuring out the facade and hating it the entire time.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, he's all about Batman. Mm-hmm. And actually, I mean, I guess that's more what I was saying, that just have more of the Playboy Bruce. Like, bring that in, like, okay, I better... Because the mayor to elect, or what, well, she isn't mayor yet, but they're going to do the voting, is like, you're not doing anything as far as I can tell. So if he takes care of that side, shells out some money, you know, shows up with... Because what will be a really cool scene is he shows up, you know, with like a truckload of girls, one in each arm, you know, there's the party going on, there's bras flying everywhere and whatnot. And then the end of it, he goes through the you know, the main doors of the room or whatever, and he's just, yeah, see you later, yeah. And just, oh, and then like just against the wall, like, oh my God, like loosens his tie.
Yep.
His hair falls back into place. We could be brooding again. Just be like, man, and even go up to Alfred or something and be like, you know, like, I hate this. I hate this. I'm never going to do this again. That's cool. Because he was always, that's the phony bits. You know, Playboy, Bruce Wayne is here, and it's like, I don't know.
I just bought the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to see, it's refreshing in this movie that we're not watching a movie where the entire time he's questioning, am I going to retire from being Batman? Am I done being Batman? Because that's like a common theme in every major Batman movie where he's like, you know, I think I'm done. I met this girl. I think I'm done being Batman. This one, he's just like, I'm Batman, and that's what I am. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I think that was probably the biggest... And a lot of people said that... Well, not a lot of people, but some people were like, you know, the filmmakers hate Batman. This is a portrayal of his character. And I'm like, I don't see that at all.
This is the most Batman has felt in a long time.
Yeah, and again, I love the Christopher Nolan films.
Same here.
And I've even said The Dark Knight is still... was like you're never going to beat The Dark Knight.
One of the best movies, period. Like, hard stop. Not even best superhero movies. It's just a fantastic flick. It's
right. And so
good.
Yeah, and this was just a great... This movie, The Batman, was a great Batman movie. It was Batman-centric. It was take place at night. They were doing calling it a super noir is perfectly accurate, because it's clearly based on film noir and stuff. And that's where, That's where Batman belongs. I mean, they kind of did that with the Tim Burton, but that was more like the gothic side of things. It wasn't necessarily...
Yeah, this one they full on have him like narrating parts.
Oh yeah, which we've never seen before. I don't even think in
that was super cool.
I don't even think in the cartoons. Like the animated series that went full noir, even invented like that saying Art Deco, where it's just kind of anything goes. And he doesn't even narrate.
No.
So to see him do that at the very beginning, where it's turned me into a nocturnal animal, but that's so cool because later on, you see him out in public, he's pale, and he even puts sunglasses on because
the natural sunlight's hitting him. He's like, oh my God.
He puts sunglasses on inside even.
Yep,
and it's just
so great.
Little things like that. These ridiculous looking sunglasses.
We finally got the Bruce Wayne that's just like it's because you have Christian Bale's Batman where he gets up out of bed and then immediately just starts doing push-ups and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's
after like drinking orange juice. This one, he's in the house. He's like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit. It's great.
In Wayne Tower, that is full gothic.
Oh yeah.
It was beautiful. I mean, we were just. There was a couple moments in this movie where, he's like, I gotta remember sometimes, and he takes the contact out. That's a camera.
Mm-hmm. And this Batman had some cool gadgets.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool. There was a lot of moments where we were like, oh, or oh, like that. There was those reactions. Yeah, but they actually gave you a reaction. It's not like you're just kind of watching it.
What'd you think of the Penguin?
What I think of I think Colin Farrell. It's Colin Farrell, yeah. Yeah. He's doing his best Robert De Niro impression.
Yes, and it's amazing.
But that is not just anything negative. He is the best penguin. He's the best penguin.
Dude, he stole the show every time he was on screen. He's just chewing up the scenery.
Yeah, I mean, I think
good.
What we should bring up is that this is not a villain's movie either.
No.
Like arguably, like it's what you were saying too. Is I think that
it's a murder mystery.
This is their origins. This is like the beginning of the villains.
This is sort of the backstory movie for the Rogues Gallery, while also being a super noir murder mystery. Like this wasn't
Batman.
This really wasn't a superhero movie.
No, it's a detective story.
Yeah.
It's a crime thriller. That's why The Dark Knight was so good. If you treat Batman not as a superhero, but as like a crime drama, it works the best. The Dark Knight Rises was a superhero movie.
Yes.
And it's the weakest one because he doesn't do any detective work. No. He just shows up back in Gotham and, I mean, and look, I love that movie, but yeah, it's definitely the weakest one. And there's a lot of stuff in there that's very, very just, it's a happy coincidence. Is that time now?
It's time.
Okay.
I got some stuff to say about some of the villains. I got like 10 times more hair than you do, and I wasn't a bitch about it. It helps if you pull your chin out first.
Oh. Fuck that. Ow! Ow! Jesus Christ.
Time for justice.
God damn.
Made in Mexico.
Oh, really?
El Batman.
Don't you know the difference between El and La?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Batman screwed up a lot. Not a whole lot, but enough to where it's still believable. Yeah, right?
Justice!
Just move your thing around.
Oh, I'm going to, don't worry.
I love how horrible that is. That was such a dumb design.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the best cowl... we're just kind of bouncing around here. This is a very unorganized review. Oh, well. It's just our thoughts and thinkings on the subject. I actually do have some notes here. I just want to make sure we covered all the bases.
Oh, do you? Notes, you say? Are they notes about...
Oh!
Justice!
So this is a tale of 3 orphans. Batman, Catwoman, and the Riddler. And how they all try to figure it out in the big city. Batman becomes a vigilante. Catwoman
Becomes a cat burglar.
becomes a cat burglar. Oh yeah, so this brings up another point. Some people they were like, well, is she a waitress? Is she undercover as a waitress? Or is she a cat burglar? Or is she all of them? And it's like, did that question ever pop into your head?
Nope. My answer to that is, who cares?
She works there.
We gotta put that on a t-shirt.
Who cares, right?
Yeah.
She just works there. And then on the side, she goes and she does some cat burglary.
In that kick-ass dance club.
In that kick-ass dance club, which I've been listening to the music because it's so rad. This is just a cool movie. The Iceberg Lounge was so cool.
Dude, this movie was so freaking cool.
Everything
like, every aspect of it
was cool. And here's the thing, though. All right, well, clearly, yeah, this movie's really, really cool. And then the Riddler. The most realistic version. This movie was all about, it's funny. It's like, so Christopher Nolan doubled down on, let's try to be real. Could this happen in real life? What would it be like? But Bruce Wayne, in that one, uses the Wayne fortune and has people that are like, hey, I need a car. Well, it just so happens, Mr. Wayne, we have a tank hanging around in the basement. And it was cool. It worked for that.
It's called the Tumbler.
Does it come in black?
Racist!
That's what he says.
I know. Racist! You know what this movie was missing, though? Rachel!
That was actually a point I wanted to bring up.
Rachel!
Thank God we did not have an outside romance.
Yes!
This was like a no-brainer. Why didn't you bring Catwoman in? They didn't bring... It was an afterthought in the Dark Knight trilogy. They're like, oh, we haven't done Catwoman yet. Let's bring in Catwoman, whatever. And they get married, I guess, or something. There's not really anything... I mean, Anne Hathaway was fine, but this chick...
Catwoman.
Yeah, ooh. Yeah, wax your horns, you know?
All right. Let her wax my horns.
Yeah, what's her name? Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
She, in my opinion, is the best Catwoman.
It's between her and Pfeiffer, and
yeah,
it's
her and Pfeiffer,
choice.
I guess, and that's fine. You can have, they're equally good, and they're good in their own way.
Equally good, equally sexy.
She was very sexy,
sensual.
very feminine. Just the way that she walks, her commanding presence, like through the club and everything.
Oh yeah,
it was so great.
She has that march walk. It's great.
Yeah, it's just I'm here for like, hey, no one's allowed in here,
She did things to my batarang.
Hey, the Batarang. It's just the bat symbol on his armor. That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
He just pulls it right off and, cuts things with it and stuff. It gets electrocuted, and I was like, that is a different way. And also, the bat hooks, the grappling hook. God, really stretching there. There's been different versions of that. Most of the time, it's a gun, right? So Christian Bale's Batman had it, and he would cock it, and then where did it go? Was it in the back somewhere? Because you look at his belt, it's not there. You don't see any of his gadgets. Everything fits inside these little metal things. Okay, I guess. Yeah, like I never had a problem with that. But what's cool now is they were like, no, let's show it. He has a full-on bag.
He has the freaking gauntlets, too.
Yeah, he has these big gauntlets. He has a full-on bag of stuff just hanging off of his leg. Very, like, he could get bits and pieces together. He made all this himself.
Very tactical look.
He didn't go to anybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't. As of right now, he doesn't have a Lucius Fox.
Right, he's just building shit in his garage, basically.
He's just building stuff in his cool basement, and then, so, you see where everything goes, because what they did is they actually took a tip, I guess, to Taxi Driver. Mm-hmm. It comes out of his gauntlets into his hand, and then he shoots, and he's got two of them. For some reason, that didn't really click when the first time I saw it. I was like, oh, he pulled that out from somewhere, but no, it's all part of the gauntlet.
It's all a mechanism. It's cool.
Yeah, and he does actually have the spikes. Mm-hmm. They're in a little bit more, but he has 3 spikes going down.
Yeah. So I noticed that in the one silhouette shot.
I didn't, because originally I was like, I'm not sure he has those, but he does, and they're really cool. And I like the whole costume. I love the collar. I didn't think I would.
The collar's really cool. The way the cape drapes is really cool, and also just the combat boots was cool.
It's like you could buy those combat boots. I think,
this was the Batman that had like a Like, his entrance was always super dramatic because of the footfalls and everything.
That was so cool.
It was really cool. It kept fading out of darkness and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if Christopher Nolan's Batman was straight up ninja, which the editing, I understand why they edited the fights really quickly in like Batman Begins. You can't see any of the fighting because he's a ninja. That was kind of his introduction. This one, it's just you hear him coming, and then there he is.
Dun, dun,
And it's like
dun,
2 minutes into the movie.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's great. You didn't have to deal with an origin story or whatever. Because at the time Christopher Nolan did his movies, that had never been done before.
Yes.
We had never seen that origin story, and that was great. But I'm digging this. I mean, it's just amazing to me that Batman, you can't really mess it up if you stick, because there's the core elements. His parents die. He goes kind of psycho and becomes a bad guy. I mean, that's like the whole thing.
Vigilante!
You can't veer from that. But let's go back to Rachel Dawes. No Rachel Dawes. It's just Catwoman.
Rachel.
I gotta admit, though, the first time I watched, I mean, I didn't really feel it too much. Like,
It was very late.
their love story. I mean, it's...
Oh, I thought you meant the length, the runtime. No, their love
I
story.
don't have a problem.
It's just
let's be clear. I don't have a problem with the runtime.
no, it was great, but no, their love story. It was just subtle and sexy and like it just had. It wasn't like this overt, long drawn out thing. It was just the sexual tension between them.
They
the whole
kissed
time.
a couple times.
They kissed a couple times. Yeah,
It was just... I didn't feel like it was necessarily earned, I guess, at the beginning. But that could also be just because that's just what she does. She uses her feminine wiles to, manipulate people and get things going. I mean, think about it though. Even in the club, she kind of puts her hand on his leg.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Kind of doing that thing, and it's like, so she genuinely cares, I think, for Batman by the end. But at the beginning, she's just kind of going along with it because they have a common goal.
Yes.
They're trying to find her friend.
Annika.
They're trying to find Annika.
Annika.
And there was no annoying Batman voice.
No, what do you mean annoying?
It was just, he's like, cross the line.
No, this was the soft spoken Batman. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was just what it needed to be. It's just, maybe he's the rat we're looking for. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe it's over there. Maybe it's over there.
This one is this Batman had eye makeup.
Which
It actually showed it.
Yeah, when you look at all the other Batman, they did, right?
Oh yeah, every single one.
Because you sure you can't look in there and see any skin?
Every single one had some sort of eye makeup.
So, but they actually showed it. Again, this was, instead of going in a different direction, like, well, we've gone darker, so let's go maybe in a different direction. No, they doubled down.
They had to do the eye makeup with the costumes because it was hard to see. The skin around the eyes was just distracting from their eyes. They wanted that scary look, like he's part of the costume.
Absolutely, I dig that.
Oh yeah.
So they doubled down on the ultra realism, but at the same time, you're in a fictional city.
Yes.
Like they intentionally. So it's like people have said there's comparisons to Arkham Asylum and the Arkham series. I fully agree with that. It's not quite there,
But in a way, this felt like the most real Gotham yet.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's
In a way,
Yeah,
it was filthy. It was crime ridden.
Well,
Like,
again,
it actually. You felt the crime in this. Like the Nolan ones, it was always, there's so much crime in the city. It looks like a pretty nice place to live.
It's just Chicago.
It's just Chicago.
I think they may
this
have
one.
added-
It's like if you go outside, somebody's gonna cut your foot off and beat you to death with it.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they established that at the beginning, and
Yeah.
one of the coolest scenes. Every single scene is great, but that was one of the coolest scenes. Was that intro?
Yes.
But like you're saying, I think they may have added some buildings in the background for Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises to kind of make it look more like a fictional city. But in the end, no, those are the bridges for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like that's the Chicago buildings, and so and I get it. It works for that. Again, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying it's nice to actually have Gotham again.
Yes. What'd you think of the sound design and the soundtrack?
The sound design is freaking amazing. The footfalls, the breathing,
Everything
the subtle.
was super bassy.
You can sometimes hear a subtle like cracking of the leather because his cowl is leather now.
Yes.
And also to bring up a quick point there, he's wearing body armor, and everyone's like, "Oh, so he's bulletproof? He gets shot up." Remember, Ben Affleck his Batman, a guy came up to him with a gun, point blank, shot him in the head. And he had a helmet on, right? Because his cowl was some kind of like helmet, a square helmet. But my point is that, and then there's So it's happened before. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be, that's nothing new when you're getting shot at and whatnot.
Yeah,
he got shot point blank in the head. This guy's getting machine gunned all the way down.
Oh yeah.
But I think the leather, it's like those old football helmets. Probably it protects you enough. Actually, yeah, when he does the flying squirrel bit, coming out of an awesome scene. He's escaping the police force, and he has to jump what looks like the first time, and he's he's flying, and then the parachute goes off. Parachute grabs the bridge, whop, bam, smacks the top of it and rolls.
I can't tell if they intended that to be as funny as it was.
Well, there's this
because he gets somebody just
but he sells it.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like it felt very real, but it was kind of that moment of levity after such an intense moment too.
And that also segues back into the music, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah. Would you say that this soundtrack did the movie justice?
Well, I'll tell you what, Batman. I think so. I think it did justice. Dun, 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 dun. And then the bell. Bing, bang, bang, which I think the bell was a subtle, tip of the hat to, I guess, the Tim Burton type of... It felt...
They've had a bell in a lot of them.
Yeah. There's a lot of bells.
They got a lot of bells.
But anyway, what about the police force all sounding like this?
Oh, police force sounds like this.
And they get higher and higher to finally you're that one guy and they pump, hey, go for the evidence.
Hey, Batman!
I know, you expect Mickey Mouse to show up.
The only bits of dialogue that were cringy in the best way possible, and that was the police force saying stuff like, move it, pencil neck, stuff like that.
Well, you see, I didn't...
You goddamn son of a bitch. It was so great.
I didn't have a problem with the pencil neck, because I didn't believe at first, when I first was watching it, I'm like, he didn't say pencil neck.
Oh, he totally said pencil neck.
I know he did, but at the beginning I'm like, nah.
But it's so good. I love that about it. It's like it's the stereotypical
they're
mobster noir.
Yeah, they're trying
cops,
to do the noir thing. Everyone they don't talk fast.
No,
quite the opposite. But that's fine. Again,
and I gotta say, speaking of mobsters, they made the mob presence in this film feel real, and it was present.
Yeah.
And it was this underlying filth under the whole movie, whereas the Nolan ones, it was there, but
they're there in the Dark Knight, but they're kind of just in the background. You're right. There's not necessarily a presence because it's all Joker.
Yeah, and this one and the Penguin, he's so good. It's just
I'm down for his TV show.
Falcone was great. He was fantastic.
Falcone had more of a... It was Maroni in the other one, so they focused more on Falcone this time, which was great, played by that actor. I can't remember his name, but he was in The Big Lebowski and a bunch of other stuff the Coen Brothers did, and he's great.
Fantastic.
Him again, too. I haven't seen you around here in a while. My own flesh and blood. Oh, and he was in a submarine or something.
Yeah.
You see the design of his lounge above, above the Iceberg Lounge, right? That was in the same building.
Yeah.
And it's it's the metal...
Overlooking one of the bridges.
Yeah, and that was very 1920s. You could believe that was that. I stand here and look over my empire, which it really was. So good.
The Batmobile.
The Batmobile.
Best Batmobile yet. It felt like a real vehicle.
Somehow.
This wasn't a tank. This wasn't a vehicle built specifically for aesthetics.
Which I never... The Batmobiles were always cool. I guess the coolest
I
one...
never had a problem with them.
I never had a problem.
But they were definitely built for, we're going to make this look cool.
We're going to make this look like a Batman or something. Yeah.
This was...
Yeah, maybe move in a little more.
Sorry.
Yeah, right here.
Is that better?
I hope we're both in focus. I don't know.
Close enough. But no, it was...
You're right.
I
didn't mind it being a tank.
I didn't either. It was...
And then the Ben Affleck was a combobulation of that.
This was a new take where it's literally... Combobulation?
Combobulation? Compilation?
Yeah.
it was a combination of Nolan.
Combination, that's what.
Of Nolan and Tank.
I like combination.
Tank and Carr, but that whole Batman, unfortunately,
Yeah.
wasn't even he wasn't a character. He doesn't kill people.
But this one, he just straight up took a hot rod,
Built a muscle car,
made it kind of batty, and strapped a jet
all
engine onto the
spiky.
back of it. The coolest freaking reveal for a
That was a
Batmobile.
really good reveal.
Oh, it's so good.
One of the only things, though, the first time I watched the film, there was a couple of moments that made me kind of turn my head, was actually that moment. It was really, really cool. It was leading up, and then just... And I was like, oh, did it stutter out? Did it turn off? But no, when you watch it again, it's more like, I dare you. Mm-hmm. I double dare you to get in your car, and I'm going to come and get you.
Yeah, it was literally, it was like going up to the line on a drag race.
Like I'm ready to race.
It was the intimidation thing.
Yeah.
Because that was when he did that, that's when Penguin's like, oh shit. He goes
Which that whole scene was great too. They go to the warehouse, this is a buy. Gordon and him are talking on radios. And then you have
Catwoman shows up.
Oh, that's what it was. And then, hey, vengeance!
Yeah, it's so great with an Uzi.
He's just got the Uzi. Take my money!
And talk about a great car chase.
It was
so cool.
At times it was kind of chaos, but that was on purpose because they were trying to do something interesting. So it is a great car chase.
They made that car so freaking cool. Like they straight up,
yeah.
Like it sounds like a hot rod. It's so great.
And then I laughed out loud the first time when the truck is coming apart, and then there's the ramp.
Yep. Oh, you and I were cracking up because
it's like,
but in the best way. It wasn't even like oh, here we go. It was like that's the duality of it. Like a lot of movies, you see something like that and you go like, oh, here we go. Whereas this one, we're like, yeah, here we go.
Like, this is.
Do it!
Yeah, you're having fun. Let's go do the thing.
It kept
I got
ramping
you!
up.
And then,
the ramp opens up. We're like, oh, he's going to do it.
That whole scene was great. Him coming down. And I thought it was kind of funny. It still is funny, maybe unintentionally, of him leaning down into the car.
Oh, I laughed, yeah.
I think it's kind of funny, but it's also... It's kind of supposed to be in an ironic way.
It's supposed to be kind of... It's supposed to be equal parts badass, and it's also him like... Now I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Are you even alive after that huge flip you just did in your car? Not to mention all the other people that are probably burning up in the background.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a movie. It's a Batman movie. Batman.
Just.
Let me look. Again, back to the three orphans. So the Riddler was an orphan, and he got treated badly by the city, basically.
Yeah.
And then he decided to...
riddles.
Turn it his way and have an internet following.
Questions.
Hey guys, I really appreciate all the...
Hey, thanks for all the comments.
Well, thanks for all the pointers on
detonators.
On detonators. That was so great. It's just
So
that
great.
dark humor. Something important. Man, I don't know if this is important, but they changed the mythology a little bit, right? So you have, with the Arkhams and the Waynes, they're the founders. Martha Wayne killed her whole family. So she was nuts. So Batman's
She
mom...
didn't kill her whole family. Her mom killed her husband and then committed suicide.
So she didn't do anything.
No, she just found them and went nuts.
So Martha didn't kill anybody.
No, Martha spent a lot of her time in insane asylums.
See, I've seen this movie 3 times, and still, for some reason, that didn't come across.
I came across the first time because I am...
No, you want to know what it was? It was a bad theater experience, I gotta say. So, real quick. What?
Let's talk about
real quick for theater ethics.
You go ahead. I'll be the muscle.
Yeah, real quick for theater ethics. Get off your damn phone.
Get off your phone!
Don't get up and walk around.
Don't walk around!
Don't run out and in the theater.
Don't run out!
When you sit down, sit down.
Sit!
And shut the hell up.
Shut the fuck up!
We need to return to that guy that shows up with a torch or a torch. Oh, we British now. You got a torch.
Gonna burn the place down!
Shows up with a flashlight and shines the light in your face and says, "Get off your phone or get out." We need to go back to guards. We need to go back to guys that are...
You should be allowed to open hand slap 5 people in a movie theater a year.
Yeah, it's people are just dropping their kids off and then leaving. It was theaters are just going to shit.
It was quite the
Injustice.
Yeah. So there you go, 101. Turn your phone off. Be quiet. Realize other people are there because they paid to be there.
Big money.
It's just pathetic. Anyway.
Don't be dicks.
So back to the movie.
Yes.
So Martha is mom, right?
Martha.
Being kind of, it's insane.
Yeah. And the Waynes and the Arkhams are trying to cover it up.
Yeah, I mean, the Arkhams, I guess that's actually in one of the comic books where Martha was a Wayne.
Yeah, they were the marriage of the two founding families, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't always originally, I guess that was in some Batman stories.
It's popped around.
I don't have a problem with it. The fact that she didn't kill her whole family, because I thought that's what it was.
No. It was literally she witnessed it and went nuts.
Okay.
She was dealing with the trauma from it.
That's okay. So that makes a little more sense why Thomas Wayne is, he's a doctor.
It's not necessarily
And
that he's trying to cover it up. He's trying to keep her from reliving the trauma of it.
Well, yeah, but also, yeah, he is running for office.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't want that to get out. So he has a moment of weakness. I buy all that. That's fine. What's kind of iffy, though, is, so they say he's like, oh, so it was Carmine that, killed my parents. Well, we don't know for sure. And hopefully not, because it's supposed to be a random act of violence that sets him on the path.
Joe, chill.
Yeah, and which, by the way, is in the movie.
Yes.
He's there at the funeral scene. I know it. He's that guy that disappears into the dark. Don't I know you? Hey, don't I know you? But anyway, so
You killed my mom.
She kind of being nuts.
Yes.
Does that mean that Bruce Wayne is just naturally a psycho now? He doesn't just kind of have...
Runs in the family.
Yeah, like, I don't like that implication. I don't want him to just be insane because...
No, I didn't get that at all.
Like predestined in a way.
No, I didn't get that at all, where it's a hereditary thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not there. But I'm just saying subtext-wise and in the future if they're going to explore that. Hopefully not. Because it's a choice. That's the whole point. I'm choosing to dress up like a bat and fight crime. Is it crazy? Well, that's why you bring in all of his villains. Because all the villains challenge him in different ways. Bane's going to challenge him intellectually. The Joker's going to challenge his morals.
Somebody did some fan art of Dave Bautista as Bane, and that is a wonderful choice.
That would be great. Yeah, he's great.
You know what? Let's do that. Future films, if they were to bring in other members of the Rogue Gallery, who would you like to see as who? I mentioned the one time that I wanted to see Christoph Waltz as Mr. Freeze.
Yes, I could see that. And for some reason, Matt Reeves has said, the director of this movie, said that Mr. Freeze is possible somehow.
That'd be awesome. He's my favorite Batman villain.
Well, the animated series really made him not a joke anymore.
It's a cold day Batman.
Yeah, there was that original one, I think Heart of Ice.
Nora!
I think it was Heart of Ice, the first episode he was in the show.
I think so.
And that was great, and it made him a character. That's the other thing, too. All the villains in Batman all have character.
Yeah.
They're not just villain of the week. And his is like a tragic love story. Mm-hmm. It would work, I think, but I don't know if he can actually shoot ice. It would have to be something a little less fantastical.
If they did it, just do it a little more science-y. Like,
yeah. Although they also talked about, are they going to bring in Bane? Speaking of Dave Bautista, which I think that would be good casting.
He'd be a good casting.
He takes what I assumed is adrenaline. It is green.
it's a yellow.
And then shoves it in his arm and, but again, you could explain that away with an adrenaline thing.
Yeah.
So, whatever, that's all speculation. I guess if they were, I want them to bring in other villains besides the main ones. We've had Joker a couple times. We've had Two-Face a couple times.
That'd be kind of cool. Get Mad Hatter.
The Riddler works for this because it's film noir. The Mad Hatter, that could work, right? That could be more of a mystery, like leaving clues or...
Calendar Man, if they went with the dark route.
I was going to say, Calendar Man.
They had the one where he was like carving months and stuff into his head and shit.
Yeah, I mean, they get
and then they got that Mr. Zaz or whatever. He's freaky.
Yeah, the murderer guy.
Yeah.
He actually cameoed in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
They say, anyway, that's supposed to be him. But, yeah, if they keep this tone, and the serious, dark tone, which is great...
It can be fantastical, because they didn't, they're not necessarily going for realism. They're just keeping it grounded.
It is the more extreme version of Nolan, I think.
Yeah.
Or, well, maybe not. Because the city is fiction.
I think they could bring in if they had Mr. Freeze have a freeze gun, I think they could pull it
I
off.
mean, honestly, right now, Christopher Nolan's movies are more science fiction-y than this one.
Yeah.
Because the tank,
Yeah.
which is plausible, but it's still a tank. Just, I don't know, other technologies, I guess. I don't know. But I love that it's supposed to be fictional. There's supposed to be some fantastical elements, but I like that it's still grounded. Like, some people were upset that why can't we get the Riddler that just tells riddles and he's wearing the green hat and he's flipping his cane? And I'm like, it works in the animated series, and people are like, can we find a middle ground where you're not getting Jim Carrey farting like an idiot, but you're also not getting this serial killer guy. You're getting in the middle.
Yeah, this was a really cool take on it.
Yeah, and whether or not you can do that middle ground, yeah, you can. It's been done in the video games and things.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this take of the Riddler.
Yeah, this was really cool.
It made sense. And so anybody else for a villain, all I can really think of right now is Scarecrow, and hire that one guy that played Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad.
He'd be good.
But actually, he was already in a Batman movie, though. He was in The Dark Knight. He was actually the guy that they pull out, and he's, where's the Joker? Yeah, and he's just, I think he said a line, I don't know.
You know who would be really good as Scarecrow?
I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head besides that guy.
There's some in my head, and they just fell right out.
Which, I think that guy would be good, but people are going to be like, oh, are they in the same universe?
Right.
Like, oh, just shut up. This is also another great example of why the multiverse stuff is annoying.
Oh, damn. You know who'd be really good?
Who?
Jude Law.
As the Scarecrow?
Yeah, think about it.
I don't know.
It's a weird choice, but, think about it. He'd be freaking fantastic.
I don't know if he's creepy enough. If he's kind of looks like he could be kind of skinnier and ooh, creepy. Like Jude Law is a pretty charismatic guy, honestly.
That's fair, yeah.
What are you trying to do? Look at my pants. But yeah, casting wise, I think we covered everybody, right? Like Jim Gordon, I think
Adrian Brody'd be good.
Jeffrey Wright could. Yeah, I think Adrian Brody. He's tall and lanky.
Adrian Brody'd be really good.
He's tall, lanky, and weird. Yeah. Sure, why not? And I think that gothicness would actually lend itself really, really well to this Batman.
Yes.
You also got to think about that. What villains work in the particular type of Batman you're trying to tell?
I'm excited to see where they go with Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and really, I guess you could make any of the villains.
I'm excited to see where they go with Joker.
Yeah, that you can make any of the villains work in any of the styles you do it in.
The kid they picked for Joker, that's an interesting choice, and I'm excited to see where they go with that.
He might end up just in the Arkham series, though, rather than in a film.
I hope he gets a film.
I don't mind if he would be in the next film, but I am kind of jokered out.
Okay.
I mean, you even have Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, so bring in somebody else. I don't know. I guess that's just kind of where I'm at right now. But who else are they going to bring in? Like, a villain that we haven't seen.
No! Patreon!
Oh, God. Yeah, we have a Patreon. Whatever. Check it out in the link below. That's all I'm going to say about that. Who cares?
We've done it all.
I'm getting tired of throwing it in people's face. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. If you want to give us money, do it. If not,
yeah, we have a
whatever.
Patreon and link below. Whatever.
We don't give us money. Why should you?
We'll show. We do have 5 patrons. Whatever. I mean, I appreciate that. If you want to give and be cool, great. If not, cool. Whatever. I don't care.
It would be a great source of
Justice!
It would.
It would.
Let me check my notes.
While he's checking his notes, we have another channel that you should definitely check out. We do a lot of short films, sketch comedy.
Oh, I guess that's it. That's all my notes.
We have a 40s reporter, general out of time. We have a plague doctor, does all kinds of fun, goofy stuff.
Go check out Garke House Productions. Go check out The Big Stinky, and then go check out my channel. I'm trying to think. I guess we could end by talking about the photography.
Oh, we are.
What? Photography, the cinematography in this is absolutely amazing. So this is like, I could even say this is the first, well, not the first, I guess. There's always been good art direction in Batman movies.
Yeah.
But this is, we've already talked about how awesome the city looks. This is one of the better. The cinematography is amazing. It's mostly at night. Everything is drenched in rain. It's disgusting, and it's awesome. In contrast to the Marvel films, which I've talked about before, where the cinematography is just
very cookie cutter.
It's very cookie cutter. This is functional. You can see everything, but they're not even that colorful. They always talk about how Marvel is so colorful and whatnot. The Guardians of the Galaxy is colorful, but they're not really. They're kind of muted.
Just all the costumes are bright colors.
Yeah, it's very real world photography. There's nothing particularly artsy about it, I would say. And this is great. This is another talking point. I mean, it just elevates your movie. But Marvel movies are more like an assembly line. So they just kind of crank them out, and there's not a whole lot paid attention to. Because they're trying to grab the biggest audience ever. So they're just like, well, not everybody. I mean, there's a lot of people that had said, don't they have light bulbs in Gotham?
Yeah.
You know, what do they give one light bulb out to everybody? Oh, I couldn't see the car. It was too dark. You know, different things that they say. So in Marvel, they're like, okay, just everything is bright. You can see everything. Mm-hmm. So you lose a lot of the art style, I think, with that. But this has every bit of that. And it's fantastic. I love this movie. It's up there with the top 3 Batman movies, I think.
Good. So good.
Yeah, so let's rate them then, I guess. I don't know. What's your favorite Batman movie now?
This one.
This is your favorite?
Yeah. Followed closely by The Dark Knight.
I think for me, it's this one, The Batman, is tied with The Dark Knight. And then after that comes Batman Begins. And then the Tim Burton ones, definitely. I mean, Batman Forever is garbage. Batman and Robin is garbage.
Yeah. The 60s one is good.
Actually, yeah, it is.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the 60s show is really funny. I don't know if anyone will be able to hear that. I don't know, man. We've just been talking about Batman for like an hour or something. It's pretty cool.
They probably wrap it up now, though.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that, I mean, even the shots of his silhouette against the huge windows, just noir windows, you know, the shadows and the lights and the contrast and everything.
I think the one thing that we've forgotten to mention, though, is we have waited so long for this movie. Like, how long now? 3 years?
Oh, well, yeah, the first trailer came out in August 2020.
So
they had only...
Year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, they had... Well, just over, a year and several months.
And it kept getting pushed back. And we were really worried that that was going to kill it. And that it was going to suffer from that. And then we were like, well, we don't want to set our expectations too high. And this exceeded every expectation we possibly could have had.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with anything. I mean, I guess there was one moment where Catwoman said a line politically, and it was like, you could chalk that up to the annoying uncle or the annoying aunt walks in and starts blabbing about politics and then leaves, and everyone just kind of forgets about it and goes back to normal.
Yeah, whereas I don't necessarily mind that. It did come kind of jarringly.
It was very jarring, and then you quickly forgot about it.
It was out of nowhere, and then it was gone, and that was... And it didn't detract from the movie at all. Nothing detracted from this film. This was one of the few movies that I would actually give a 10 out of 10 to, because I just loved it so friggin' much.
Right, I'm just simply saying again that it was like, it doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the other thing too, people had. I keep bringing up. It's just fun to bring up issues that other people had with it, because then you just immediately like, no, you don't know what you're talking about.
Bruce Wayne was too emo.
Well, they're like, well, the issue is like the love-hate relationship with the cops. And I was like, yeah, he escaped.
He's a vigilante.
He escaped the cops, though, right?
Yeah.
So after that, the next time he's with the cops is when they arrest Falcone. Mm-hmm. And he walks out with Gordon. And at this time, he says, well, not all the cops are you haven't bought all of them. So it makes sense that they would all be on Batman's side again at that point. Especially since the big boys have kind of been removed. Like the lieutenant and whatever. The one guy's dead. He was killed by the Riddler. And then other people were like, oh, yeah, so he has a carpet tool. Hey, there must be a carpet at the guy's house. It's like, guys, what are you talking about?
Who cares?
Then there's no movie. Like, Kevin Smith is an idiot, in case you didn't already know. And I was surprised he didn't like this because he loves Batman. But he had a lot of problems with this movie, I guess. And I'm just like, did you watch the same movie? No. He just goes and gets high and writes terrible stories for He-Man. All right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So this movie is great.
Do us a favor and like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. It really helps out our channel.
It helps us
to grow.
Yeah.
Check out our Patreon. Check out our other stuff, our channels. They're going to be popping up here in a second. And yeah, just, leave us a like. It helps with the algorithm. And above all,
subscribe!
Thanks for checking us out.